So I have already made a small reel on Instagram under the Fun Indian Guy channel or the Fun Indian Guy profile, and that particular concept has been coming back and back and back through different books. Be it the 4 Hours Work Week by Timothy Ferris. I can see the book there. Be it the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, the book which is a compilation of the content which has been shared by Naval Ravikant through books, podcasts, tweets, which has been compiled by Eric Jorgensen. I can again see the book. Be it the psychology of money. That's what the reel was about. The concept which kept coming again and again was basically the ability to work on what you want, when you want, where you want, and with whom you want is the ultimate luxury you can have, or the ultimate dividend money can pay. And that luxury of time comes with a lot of different possibilities, advantages, disadvantages, both. In today's episode, we'll talk about the luxury of time. Let's go.
Your afternoon caffeine with Dailysh Pod is here. A creative podcast to refuel your day. Presenting your host, Suyog, also known as the Fun Indian Guy.
So as I decided to go down this path of exploring entrepreneurship and doing what I love and building meaningful projects for meaningful clients, I also started to think about the luxury of time which I have. As now the timetable and the schedule is basically in my control, except on the part when there is a delivery in the pipeline, then we have to do everything to get those things delivered to the client or make those projects. Apart from that, I'm pretty much in control of my time and I decide what I want to do and when I want to do it. So when I was reading these lines in these books, it made a lot of sense and it made me a bit happy because I couldn't see that for myself. I couldn't see the value of being free or doing something or anything at any point, anywhere. Which was actually driven by me. I couldn't see the value of it. I could just see it like, okay, I have free time. What should I do? Man, it's boring. So I couldn't appreciate the value. But these books help me value that. And when it comes to luxury of time, the things which I started to recalculate was basically what else I could do in this time. How can I benefit myself? How can I add value to me or to my life, to my career, to clients? What things I could build which are interesting to me, like my podcast, my YouTube channel, writing the episodes, writing the content for these things, creating stuff on Instagram or Reels. What all things can I do was kind of driven by the luxury of time because I had time to think about it. I had time to do it. I had time to post it. I had time to really execute what I wanted to do. So that really comes from the luxury of time. I had luxury of time to just sit down and read the book, which I wanted to read. And the disadvantage part of it is basically you're not asked to do it. You are not controlled by somebody or you're not guided by somebody on top of you. You have to make the decision or you have to make that honest effort to do something. Otherwise, there have been days where I'm just sitting and nothing happens. And those are kind of low days. But there are days when I'm like, okay, today because this time has been given to me and I'm supposed to be in control of the time and not the other way around where time slips through my hand while I do nothing meaningful. Let me take an action and do something. So that is kind of the disadvantage part if you look at it that way, that you need to drive those activities by yourself. And unless and until you won't drive them, things won't happen to you. It's like action in action stuff, right? So unless and until I read a book, I'm not going to learn something. I'm not going to broaden my perspective on things. I'm not going to come up with new ideas to make videos and to lead my life in a certain way. If I'm not going to take an action of creating a new business or creating a new project idea, if I don't do that in that luxury of time which has been given to me, those projects are not going to happen. Futuring Now Lab is not going to exist. Futuring Now Studio is not going to exist. Dailysh Pod or the Fun Indian Guy channel, not going to exist. So I have to do the conscious effort of doing those things. So that comes from the discipline of doing. And you need to get into that habit. Otherwise, the luxury of time, if not used properly, is just going to stay there. So being able to do this is great, but really doing something with the time given to me is the main thing you should focus on. So if you happen to have the luxury of time, if you happen to have that control on your life and your time basically, I would just remind you to use it in a more purposeful way. So things get easier. Things get not easier per se, but things get interesting. And those times or those things which you do in that particular free time kind of seeds or kind of sows the seed for the next project, next big things or next things you would go ahead and do. So let's use the time responsibly. I also keep reminding myself. Even making this episode is kind of a reminder for me. I haven't nailed it, and I'll never nail it. I'll constantly need reminders to get back on track, or I'll constantly need different triggers to do things. But this is a small reminder for you, so that you could also look at your time in a much more meaningful way and use it for a better purpose. Of course, you can use the time for leisure and relaxing and chilling, because that is also very crucial, because unless and until you get bored, you're not going to build anything. So make sure that is also in place. You don't have to go 100% productive or productivity expert or productivity maniac on things. That was a strong word. Sorry for that. But you get the point. With that said, guys, share this episode with one friend of yours who you think can benefit out of it or see something for himself or herself. That will be really interesting and nice for the growth of the podcast as well. With that said, guys, thank you so much for staying till the end. Thank you so much for listening, and I shall catch you in the next episode. Peace.
If you like what we do, then make sure to follow Dailyish Pod wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as on Instagram. For more visual experience, do subscribe to the Fun Indian Guy YouTube channel. Until next time, have fun.